correlation between this film and Matrix, but to you, I don't think it's kind of what we thought of relation.
No, they're very different. The Tai Chi shot doesn't have any correlation to the Matrix films, other than I'm in both of them, or all four of them. I think, I think they. Well, the thing that Tai Chi Shaw has maybe in this, a connection to in the Matrix is maybe, the ambition to this idea of perhaps consciousness, of just being aware of what's going on in a way.
Before Matrix, before you get a training or martial art, did you have ever think about that? I mean, maybe some days I gotta be the action movie. I like to learn kung fu.
It's I call it movie kung fu, because it's you still have to do the stretching and the kicking and the punching, and all of the other things that correlate and connect to that. And the breath and things of that nature. But, when I was working on The Matrix in 1997, I didn't think I'd be in Beijing directing Tai Chi Sha. But I feel... But we worked on the story for over 5 years. I met Tiger working on the Matrix films, and I like to say, he was my teacher. Then he became my friend, and on this, he's my brother. And so we worked on the story for a long time, and it's just really cool that we got to make the film, and I hope people like it.
Who's the one got this idea, got the inspiration to make the Tai Chi Sha the first time?
It started with, Tiger and I wanted to work together. And he had a friend, producer, Daxing Zhang, and we worked together to try and develop the script, and then I went, with a producer that I had worked with, and I had met Han San Ping at CFG, and he had an interest in working. I had an interest working with him, and as the years went by, eventually everything came together.
So can we say this movie you particularly make it with Tiger? No one else could take his place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's, that's very true.
So many channels of martial art. Why you choose Tai Chi? Because to us, Tai Chi is kind of, maybe only the old people they practice Tai Chi in the past. They slow and
yeah.
I have no idea how could it be this kind of very fast and strong action movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of different styles of fighting in the film, but the thing that Tiger is doing, at least in the beginning, is is this kind of traditional Tai Chi. There's a lot of surprises in Tai Chi. It's got many forms to it. The physical practice, the Qigong, the mental practice. But yeah, as Tiger's character Chen Lin Hu says in the movie, I want to show the world that Tai Chi can also be very powerful, and that's a new idea, but it's not. But it isn't a Tai Chi,
Did you practice Tai Chi when you shot Matrix?
No.
So what was the first impression when you saw Tiger, or maybe other people play Tiger?
Well, what, actually, when I was, I remember when I was training with Tiger during the Matrix, he would show me, because I had never seen any Chen style, and so he showed me some of that, and I was just like, that's Tai Chi? And he's like, yes. Because you do that whole thing where you're kind of slow, and then you go into that other secondary form, and it was just amazing. The power, it's not just,
Yeah.
it's, that whole thing. Very beautiful.
In this movie, we sort of the chance style.
We made up, we didn't want to use one particular style. I didn't want to make it about one style. So we came up with this idea of Ling Kong Tai Chi. In the film, Tiger ends up doing underground fighting to save his temple, which, is already a conflicting idea. He says, I can't fight Tai Chi for money, it's dishonorable. And my character, the Donica character, who makes an offer to him, to fight for money, to see how good you are, or could become. No rules, no referees, pure fighting. Tiger says, I can't fight Tai Chi for money, it's dishonorable. And so my character, creates this situation to put his temple under attack, and Tiger has no understanding or way to save his temple except to fight underground fighting. And so he starts to go on this kind of dark journey, as his dark chi kind of takes over.
So personally, what interests you more, like the philosophical part of Tai Chi or just the physical part?
I think with Tai Chi you can't have one without the other. I mean, I guess the some of what I've heard and read, and this idea of separateness and then unification through forces, and then transition and everything changing, and the yin and the yang, and but I think the practice, and when you think about these things, I think they're all connected. So my interest is I keep going like this because it's kind of what it is,
So I wonder who's the one in charge of all the actions? Because we have remoting, and you have Tiger, and they're kind of teacher and student relationship. Who will say it will be the last one, the last one to say yes, I want to do it and make the decision?
Me.
So you choose.
Well, I think, it was such an honor to work with Yuan Wu-ping, to work with him on the Matrix films, but also even double honor, for him to agree to work with me and Tiger. And he's such a great man. He's such a great teacher. He's a great action director. He's a great director. And he's very collaborative, so he was always like, this is what I think, but, what do you feel, and so it was a nice back and forth.
Through this, 15 years, and you have cooperated for many times, and did you have some idea, new idea, like maybe from Matrix, maybe from other action movies, and then one can help you to improve it?
Improve. I don't know, it's a tough word. I think every film or everything has its kind of unique qualities to it. I would just say that one of the things that I personally was trying to do was to treat these action sequences as scenes, as character development for Tiger. So we're not only enjoying the kind of physical and the kung fu fighting, or I'll call them action. It's almost not action action sequences, but action scenes. That we see character development in these fights.
I thought a very short film before, and it's about the making of some action scenes of this movie. You used a very special technique of the cameras, and that was amazing. It seems like
yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, the robotic arm. I didn't get a chance to use it.
Oh.
I couldn't use it. No, it was too much money.
So that was only a kind of rehearsal?
I did it as what they call a proof of concept. I had this idea in my head to shoot live action and make it's a long story, but it's a short story, but just to do edit blends, and so I could use this mechanical camera, but have no cuts in it. But unfortunately, it was a technology that was too expensive for the movie.
So through the trailer, we see not everything seems all focused on Tiger and action part. Care more about the story. So it's a story that all have the background of in Western country, or you have to put it in China, or kind of mix up.
Well, I mean, for Tiger, he's a character who lives in Beijing, who has a master. He's the last student of Ling Kong Tai Chi. He's the the door closing student. And in this fictional Tai Chi, it's like 21 generations, 600 years, and but he's also a delivery guy. He's like an everyman. He's an only son. We meet his parents. We see him working delivery job. He has a crush on this girl. So he's involved in a tournament in a Wuling Wang, a kind of martial arts tournament. So he's trying to. He gets interviewed. He wins a fight, and he's trying to show the world, that Tai Chi can also be very powerful. He's having a kind of. He's at a certain level with his master, and he's at a place in his practice where he wants to externalize, and his master is telling him to control his chi. He has to meditate, but Tiger doesn't want to meditate. He wants to. At the same time, I run an underground fight club, and I see him, and I think that he could be someone to do these underground fights. And so I offer him a job and an opportunity to fight in underground fights, which he says no to. And then a situation arises that his temple is under attack. In a situation they have to get repairs. So he ends up fighting underground fighting. So this story is how he gets kind of seduced by his own power. And he gets deeper and deeper in his fighting, and more less compassion. And he almost loses his soul. But he doesn't.
But what about the actress? Do you have some...
There's also a cop story, too. What?
Do you have the action part for the actress? Because Karen Mock, she's a kind of very famous singer in China, but we seldom saw her play martial art in movies.
Yeah, she doesn't have any martial arts. She plays a police officer from Hong Kong, from the OCTB, and but we get to see her carrying a gun. She plays a very strong female character, a character of deep feeling and commitment, and she's trying to stop the underground fighting, and she's trying to look for the next fighter, who turns out to be Tiger. And she wants to, in a way, save him.
So why Karen? Karen, we love Karen, but...
Karen's fantastic, because she's so talented, she's so strong, she's so smart, she's beautiful, she's a lovely actress, and as soon as I met her, I thought she was perfect for the role, and I was right. Yeah, I think... she can do anything, as we know. She can do comedy, she can sing, she can do drama, and I think people I hope will like her in this film, because she's fantastic.
Well, we heard that there's a lot of maybe action scenes, maybe something else that will give the honor to some very classic kung fu films, but I don't know if it's true. But do you think there was maybe some kung fu film that influenced you, especially for this one?
I looked at some kung fu films for, just how did they film the fighting, and how did they edit it. I would say that, we have a light master and a dark master in a way in the film. But, I feel like Tai Chi Sha is unique. It's familiar as a kung fu movie, but, it's pretty unique.
We saw kind of this kind of tribute from Western filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino. He's a big fan of kung fu films. That style is very unique. But to you, how do you define your style of kung fu?
What's your style? My hope was that again that the fight scenes could be dramatic character developing scenes. I think of Tai Chi Sha as a kind of fable, a contemporary fable. So I don't know what my style is. I hope it's a good style.
In the translation, Sha means kind of many superheroes in Chinese, and I don't know if there's some kind of superhero atmosphere in this one.
There is a certain element, I tried to mix some, it's trying to be kind of authentic, real fighting. I didn't want the choreography of the fights to look like choreography. Excuse me. I wanted it to feel very naturalistic, but formal in the sense that they're not street fights. They're kung fu fights. I shouldn't say kung fu, martial art, because we have different styles in it. But yeah.
You spent how long you spent in Beijing?
We were here about 9 months.
In the period, people said that they find you maybe sometimes in metro,
Oh.
somewhere else, and in a very it's a very different. It's a different culture, it's a different language, and the first time to be a director. You said it's not very difficult, but I just wondered what first you have to break. Maybe some rules, and maybe you have to try to learn the different culture before you shoot.
Of course, yeah. I spent a lot of time with Tiger, his friends, his family. Spending time here, and just, working with the actors, and we worked on the script for over 5 years, so, and then working on the translation, for me it was always just, is this authentic, is this real, is this, and also, I had a feeling too, just of like that felt, but for me it was just about listening and paying attention and respect,
Do you ever feel maybe a little bit nervous when you get a place that people don't speak your own language, and maybe you have to change their idea, and yes, just tell them what you like to make, and it will be difficult to you.
I think, I'm in the film. I speak English in the film. But, it takes place in Hong Kong and Beijing. There's scenes with Tiger's family, there's scenes with him working, but that aren't in the trailer. But I think cinematically, yeah, I guess, there's, the cinema of it, I guess, for me it's, and this, I think, makes it unique, is that it's not one thing, and it's a new thing. And I think also, but paying respect to whatever the scene is. Well, maybe I see you after you see the movie, and then we talk
Maybe
again.
that changed my idea completely.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're looking at a trailer,
Yeah.
but, when you see the movie, we talk.